When you look at the way this Chiefs training camp has unfolded, there's something almost sneaky about it. Everyone's been so caught up in the big storylines around the NFL that a lot of folks have missed what's quietly happening right here in Kansas City. The truth is, the Chiefs have gotten better in a few key spots, and it's not just the big names doing the work. A rookie is already flashing signs of being the real deal. A veteran has stepped in to help fix a weakness from last year, and a position group that used to be one of the thinnest on the roster is suddenly looking deeper than ever. Day 15 of camp was lighter and faster, but it told us a lot. Offense, defense, and special teams all rotated through short, high-tempo periods, fine-tuning situational football as they get ready for the second preseason game against the Seahawks in Seattle. Sure, that game kicks off at 9 p.m. Central, so you might need a cup of coffee to stay up for it, but if you're looking for the preseason game where the starters will get the most action, this is it. That alone makes it worth watching. What's exciting is that these subtle improvements are starting to pile up. The rookie I mentioned, Josh Simmons, is already looking like he belongs in the league. The veteran addition, Christian Fulton, is easing into full participation after starting camp on the PUP list, and his presence could be huge for a secondary that had to juggle pieces last season. And then there's the depth, whether it's on the defensive front, the tight end room, or the wide receivers. It's becoming clear that this roster has more layers than people realize. Now, I want to hear from you. When you've been watching or reading about camp so far, have you picked up on these improvements, or is this catching you off guard? Drop a comment and let me know which position group you think has taken the biggest step forward. And if you want to make sure you don't miss the updates that are going to carry us right into week 1, hit that subscribe button and help us get to 5,000 subscribers. Injuries are a part of every training camp, but the way the Chiefs have handled them this year might be one of the most encouraging signs yet. Let's start with some good news. Rashee Rice is back. After missing 2 practices and sitting out the preseason opener with what Andy Reid called a minor groin tweak, Rice was back on the field today, and by all accounts, he looked 100%. On one play, he cut sharply after the catch and accelerated downfield like nothing ever happened. That's the kind of movement you want to see from your WR1, and it's a huge relief considering how important he's going to be to this offense, especially with a suspension looming to start the season. Another boost came from Christian Fulton, the veteran cornerback signed to a 2-year, $20 million deal this offseason. He started camp on the PUP list after a knee cleanup procedure, but now he's participating in team drills. He even made a play in the red zone today, jumping a route for an interception. The Chiefs brought him in to help solidify the secondary, and if his recovery continues like this, we could see him in Week 1 against the Chargers in Brazil. Now, the other big injury headline centers on Hollywood Brown. He's missed 8 straight practices, but Reid clarified that it's not a high ankle sprain, more of an ankle-foot issue. The positive? He's running again, which is often the turning point in a player's recovery. Still, the missed time is unfortunate. With Rice suspended to start the year, this was valuable time for Brown to build chemistry with Mahomes. The hope is that he's ready by the opener, but that clock is ticking. Of course, not every update is positive. Safety Deion Bush tore his Achilles and will miss the season. Janarius Robinson fractured his toe, and Ethan Driscoll is recovering from having his appendix removed. Tight end Jody Fortson's replacement, Jake Bingham, has been sidelined with a hamstring issue. But for every setback, it feels like there's a step forward, whether it's Fulton's return, Rice's quick recovery, or Brown getting closer to game speed. So here's my question for you. Do you think Hollywood will be ready for Week 1? Drop a simple yes or no in the comments, and let's see where Chiefs Kingdom stands on this one. And remember, subscribing not only keeps you in the loop, it helps us hit our 5,000 subscriber goal before kickoff. The competition at wide receiver is officially heating up, and it's giving the Chiefs some good problems to have. With Rashee Rice back, Hollywood Brown still sidelined, and the preseason spotlight shining on younger guys, we're starting to get a better picture of who might make this roster. Jason Brownlee is making his case. The former Jets wideout has been catching everything thrown his way in camp. He's physical at the line, has reliable hands, and in the preseason opener, he turned a short gain into a chain-moving play with pure effort. He's not just running routes. He's showing toughness and consistency, the kind of traits that win over coaches in August. Of course, the veterans still hold the inside track. Justin Watson remains one of Mahomes' most trusted targets. Sky Moore is being used all over the formation, and Xavier Worthy's speed is already stressing defenses in practice. But Brownlee and guys like Nico Remigio are keeping things interesting in the WR4, WR6 range. On the offensive line, two rookies are turning heads, Josh Simmons and Kingsley Suamataia. Simmons has been lining up at left tackle with the second team and showing poise against veteran pass rushers. Suamataia has taken reps at both tackle spots, giving the Chiefs valuable flexibility. And don't forget about Mike Caliendo. The third-year guard is pushing for a roster spot thanks to his ability to fill in at multiple positions. Tight end is another spot to watch. Travis Kelce is still Travis Kelce, dominant in team drills, impossible to cover one-on-one. But the depth is starting to sort itself out. Robert Tonyan, signed this offseason, has been steady, catching everything in his area and providing a veteran presence. Jared Wiley, the rookie from TCU, is back after a minor injury and already showing red zone chemistry with Mahomes. If the Chiefs keep 4 tight ends, that last spot could come down to Wiley's upside versus Blake Bell's blocking and experience. So here's a poll for you. Which under-the-radar player will make the biggest splash this season? Jason Brownlee, Josh Simmons, or Jared Wiley? Drop your pick in the comments, and if you think Simmons could be a breakout rookie, hit the like button to send some good luck his way. The cornerback room is starting to take shape, and it's looking a lot stronger than it did just a couple of weeks ago. Christian Fulton's return from the PUP list is the headline, but he's not the only one making noise. Fulton stepped right into first-team reps in red zone drills, showing the quickness and anticipation that made him a starter in Tennessee. His presence gives Steve Spagnuolo more options for matchups, especially with L'Jarius Sneed now in Tennessee. One of the biggest surprises of camp has been Nazeeh Johnson. After missing last season with a torn ACL, Johnson is back, and not just back, but competing for a serious role. He's taken first-team snaps opposite Trent McDuffie, and in one-on-one drills, he's been sticky in coverage. That's the kind of depth you need when you face high-powered passing attacks. Then there's rookie Nazee Null Williams, who's been quietly earning more trust. He's gotten more second-team work and even rotated into some first-team periods. Williams isn't flashy, but his technique and willingness to tackle have stood out to coaches. Now, the big talking point outside the building is McDuffie's contract. He's eligible for an extension, and some fans are worried the Chiefs will have to pay him north of $30 million per year to keep him. That's elite cornerback money, and while he's worth it, the Chiefs don't have to make that decision right now. They still have him under contract for 2025 plus the 5th-year option in 2026. In other words, patience is key here. The rotation will likely start the year with McDuffie, Fulton, and Joshua Williams as the primary trio, with Johnson and Jalen Watson rotating in. Williams and Johnson both have the flexibility to move inside if needed, which is exactly the kind of versatility Spags loves. Here's the question for you. If McDuffie plays at the same All-Pro level this season, would you pay him $30 million per year to stay in Kansas City? Comment "pay the man" if you would, or tell me why you wouldn't in the comments. The defensive depth is quietly becoming one of the biggest stories of this Chiefs camp, and it's not just about the starters. In the preseason opener, guys fighting for roster spots made plays all over the field. Jeffrey Bosa, an undrafted defensive end, was a constant presence in the backfield. He may not have gotten a sack, but his ability to collapse the edge and force quarterbacks off their spot was exactly what you want to see in August. Linebacker Jack Cochran was another standout. flying around in special teams drills and recording a couple of key tackles in the second half. Those are the kinds of performances that get you a seat on the 53-man roster. The Chiefs also brought in Nate Matlack this week, a local product from Kansas State. At 6'5", he's got the frame and motor to compete right away for a depth spot at defensive end. He's replacing Janarius Robinson, who fractured his toe and is now on injured reserve. It's a small move in the grand scheme, but it's these types of depth signings that keep the roster healthy through the grind of the season. And it's not just the front seven. In the secondary, rookie Chamari Connor continues to make his case as a versatile defensive back, and safety Brian Cook has been vocal in leading the second-team defense. These younger players are making the coach's roster decisions a lot harder, in a good way. If there's one theme here, it's competition. Every rep, every drill, every snap in these preseason games matters. And the more the Chiefs get contributions from unexpected places, the more dangerous they'll be when the games start to count. So, I'll end with this. Predict one surprise name you think will make the final 53-man roster. Drop it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into camp, hit that like button and subscribe so we can get to 5,000 subs before week 1.